Alright, welcome back to the Wallace branch, and we're here in Mullan. I believe this is Richard Dreyfuss with these Burlington Northern GB9s, with the old Northern Pacific Bell still mounted on the front, on the top I mean. And basically, we are just continuing on exactly from where we left off in the last episode, and continuing to assemble this train. Now we're in Mullan. So we've already made it part of the way to Missoula, but only part because we have a lot of other tasks to do on the way. It's very unusual. Usually when we set out with the local from Wallace, there's not much to do on the way. There might be one task, two tasks, but this is going to be an interesting one where we do really have quite a few things along the way to take care of. There's some things which we have to take care of, and then there's other things that are more optional. And because we're taking some helpers with us, helpers that we don't normally have with us, that means that it might be actually easier to do some of those tasks. Okay. Actually, I'm going to just take two of these. It's a little confusing when you have all those coupler symbols. So now let's check the weight. 148. How about this train is, yeah, so we're going to be under 2,000 now. That's going to help. Need to adjust those auto horns for sure. Adjust the auto horn and potentially the speed limit? I don't know. Seems like there might be one track that would have a higher speed limit going through a yard. So at the end of the last episode, we finished up with the general goods, so now we only have one urgent task left in this playthrough, and that is to pick up the logs. So let's navigate to Larson Limestone. Okay, Larson Limestone. I'm not going to fly all the way up there, but it really is just right around the corner. But it's far enough away that I think we can get a few other things done. First, let's check the weight of the train, though. Okay, 1,800. So I believe we sent Alan Alda. No, it was not Alan Alda. It was Tasha Yar. It was indeed Tasha Yar with our UP train. Okay, Tasha Yar going into Kellogg with a fairly heavy ore train. Go straight here, straight here. It is good that we have that SW switcher right there. So everything is all lined up, but the problem is we have another ore train here that I kind of forgot about. This must be Alan Alda. So how are we going to do this? We have a lot of problems here. Okay, Alan Alda, you can at least pull forward to actually... Now, I wonder if Alan Alda could actually go that way. I've never gone that way before. Could be worth trying. So yeah, it is 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon of day 2 operating this session. And based on the rate of completion of tasks, I think it's still doable to potentially complete it in 4 days. It will obviously depend on multiple factors. It'll depend on smart switching, but also it'll depend on the randomizer and how many tasks it's giving me every day, because it kind of surprised me this today by giving 7 tasks. I wonder if we should just put that caboose over here on this sidetrack. That's what I'm looking at right now. Okay, you are good there. Okay, Tasha Yar is coming, or Alan Alda. No, this is Alan Alda and Tasha Yar is behind us. Okay, good, good. So let's do this switch here. You tend to forget how heavy these ore trains are. It looks short, but it's heavy. Oops, I don't want to decouple. I want to just go backwards. But first I want to check on Tasha again, because I'm sure she is going to start throwing switches in front of us, which leads to problems. Selected train has no driver? Come on. Oh, it's this one is... Oh, this is crazy. Do I have to stop the train in order for it to figure out that we're actually connected? What I might want to do here is put this whole train back in this spur, free up these GP units to handle those tank cars right in front of us there. I don't know if that brings any advantage though. I guess the main advantage is that everything here is very heavy, so there's no possible way these GPs can handle both the ore cars and those tank cars. So yeah, just gonna put these here. Now I have a feeling there's another train up there in the smelter right now. No, there isn't. It's Amy Yumi is here with the empties. I see. We've got a lot going on here. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to identify what car is this. So this is the Procore number 72139. Selected train has no driver, so I can't change the direction. Wait, can I look at the car? Oh no, it's 23. Right, it's bolded in the car tagger as well. So well, we're almost there. Let's check on our NP local. I'm not going to actually go over there, but let's look at it. Oh, it has indeed arrived at Larson. Willie's says, I remember growing up in a Midwestern Pennsylvania railroad town seeing trains with anywhere from 5 to 12 Jeeps on the head end rolling through town. 12 Jeeps. That would be very impressive. Okay, now it's time for some autopilot. We've got the hops in the front. Sort of forgot about that. So just to remind ourselves, we have 1,800 tons here. And I didn't see any indication that this track was beginning to load. Okay, we are back. Now, having diagnosed the problem, as none of the cars had limestone as a possible load, now that is fixed, hopefully. Okay, so this is the third one. We need 2 more. And then all the rest we're going to leave here. Okay, stop. No, actually, we can probably, what? We can pull forward? No. We have to pull forward at whatever speed that will no longer start loading at. Actually, tell you what, we can just use our tail end engines to put them in the siding. That's what we can do. Okay, now how much does our train weigh? I think we're good. We are looking excellent. I mean, part of the reason we're looking so excellent is because I miscalculated the number of cars that we needed to fill. I thought we had to do 9, and we actually have to do 5. And I'm treating the spreadsheet like we have to follow that spreadsheet. I mean, we're not going to load 9 cars up if we don't have to. Now we're running the switch. That's super annoying because that's an AI issue. Actually, why don't we go, no, yeah. Let's minimize this. Okay, we're back on track. A little bit of time wasted there. Now we're having a little bit of pixelation issues on one of the meshes, despite the fact that I did not edit these assets at all. Could be a bandwidth issue. Of all the things that can go wrong, I'm going to call that as a pretty minor. Okay, well next, having done Larson, we're going to be able to put this train on autopilot and head up to Chester. Drive via Chester is not on. Chester is on the list. Now, a mistake that I made last time I was here at this track was loading up the tail end of the train first, and therefore not being able to take advantage of gravity. How much does this train weigh? 600. So right now, of course, we should be able to easily push this train up this hill, despite the ridiculous grade. And I would like this grade to be a little bit less ridiculous, but I don't see how to do that. Because then this would have to be sunk into the ground here, and that wouldn't look very good. Now, another option would be just to not have this industry call for so many tank cars. What if it called for 5 tank cars at the most? We're doing okay. We've got 1 loaded tank car at the end. I think we can just stop it right there. Train should stop almost instantly, but still. But I think the trick is going to be to fill whatever tank cars fill now. Oh wow, it's instant. Okay, that's annoying. Must be a multi-industry new. But yeah, let's go back to navigate to smelter or MI2. Now I'm going to check to make sure that's the correct one. So that is inside this little shed. Smelter or MI2. Looking good. So basically, because I forgot to leave the caboose. Tell you what, let's just stop, leave the caboose. Really, it's really just easy to do. You can just leave the caboose here. Continue schedule. So I just figure with this train, there's no way that this they could pull all of this load up to the smelter. So, yeah, no way. Now, all these boxcars sitting here, they also need to go to the smelter because they will be picking up all the ingots. And you might be thinking, boxcars? Why would boxcars be transporting ingots? But that is what I learned, how the ingots were transported back in the old days. Maybe not nowadays, and maybe not in the 1970s when this route is set. But when the smelter was around, especially in the early days, I guess, maybe boxcars was appropriate. That's what I think. I don't know. If you know more, let me know. So once again, because I want to take much advantage of gravity to complete this task. Gosh, why did it flip that switch? Shouldn't that already have been switched? Oh, it's because the other train is coming, I guess. Anyway, I'm just going to switch these Procores up the other track there. Look at how long it takes to slow down. Timed it right, though. And see, even 3, it's just at the limit of what this train can, this consist can handle. Up that grade. It's because of the ridiculous grade. And I cannot believe the grade would actually have been that high, but the terrain seems to sort of dictate that, so I don't really have a solution for it other than to just dramatically alter the terrain of this whole part of the map, which I'm not going to do. So yeah, 600 tons, almost. Did I not flip the switch? I waited until it cleared. I would love to check on one of our other trains, but yeah, let's check on where did our NP local make it to. So he's not quite halfway up there. Alan Alda. Alan Alda is probably waiting on this train to complete its motions. But at least he's making it. It's a tough grade getting into the smelter. There he is, I can see him. Okay, that's far enough. Stops instantly, of course. But maybe, yeah, we're just going to wait for Alan Alda to do his thing. Looking good. Rarely when I have to wait for somebody on autopilot do I wait such a short period of time. Yeah, it seems to be less an issue of how much the train weighs and just more of an issue of how ridiculously steep it is. We have 66 tons, practically nothing. But all the uphill struggle of this switching task now has been complete. Well, unless I wanted to pick up these three, but I don't think that's going to be feasible. We're going to have so much weight once this thing is loaded that there's not even the possibility of switching out, backing up and collecting these other three cars. So basically, it is a it is a two movement, you know, you have to come and go twice to pick up this length of a train. Okay, just stop, fill up. Yeah, this is a good spot for an MI2, and anytime that I have an MI multi-industry new on the route, it must be, generally speaking, because I thought there was some reason not to have an MI2. Willie says, leave those two there and go get the three now to put them on the front. Yeah, that is a good point. Like, I can just at any time leave here, put these three on the front, and then it is all downhill. Wow, that is really good suggestion. I mean, in retrospect, it seems kind of obvious. But, thank you. Let's see if it's possible. It should be possible. I mean, we made it so far. Yeah, even just the locomotives going up this grade, struggle, right? Wait, so I didn't flip the switch again? Willie says, having a second set of eyes always helps. totally agree. I mean, this is hardly stressful, you know. We're just playing a game here, but I am trying to make it like as efficient as possible. Okay, now I definitely flip the switch. Yes. Okay, now let's check to see where the NP local made it to. Okay, so Roger Moore is on the S-curve bridge. This might be a little bit touchy because we're on that curve, but it's downhill, so that helps. I would really love to go look at the NP local right now because we're going over the big bridge, but got urgent tasks to do right here. And I would love to do this on realistic mode. You know, wouldn't that be more interesting to watch? Would sand make a difference going up the grade? I don't think we're experiencing wheel slip. Did I flip the switch? Yes. I think because I rotate around the switch, it's possible I'm accidentally flipping it. I hope not. Okay, Roger Moore has crossed the bridge and is now ascending the other side of the canyon. You have to take it very easy going downhill now because it takes a while to slow down. Okay, that's going to be good enough. Oh, this is kind of perfect. All right, take a look at where our NP local has gotten to. Now this is a task that I would love to be able to figure out a way to get AI to handle. You know, just back the train up at a certain speed. Obviously there could be a track mark here, but it depends on how long the train is, right? I mean, I guess I could just put the track mark way back there and have the speed limit set to like 3 miles an hour or something. But, yeah. Anyway, it's a short enough train. For the really long ones, I think we've already seen in this playthrough where, you know, with like 40 cars or something, just set it and forget it and come back in 5 or 10 minutes or something. Okay, now we can stop. The smelter installed this sulfuric acid plant after emissions control requirements made them capture the sulfuric acid out of the plant, made them install scrubbers, basically. So then they had all this sulfuric acid that they didn't know what to do with, so they decided to start shipping it out for making fertilizer. That's my understanding. Oh no. I think I went too far. Because I was talking. Oh, it did fill. Great. All right, now I need to check the spreadsheet. I am very sure that we're going to Chester, but you don't want to be wrong on this one either, because we're on a tough grade here as well. All right, coming up to Dorsey, which is just before Chester. Willie says, "Whew, the force was with you at that time." Indeed, indeed. That is the famous view that many NP rail fans took photos of back in the day. Dorsey Cut. And the Dorsey siding. It's interesting that they had a siding way up here. I can't imagine that many trains would have had to pass here, but what do I know? Second trestle. So I think there are 2 trestles above the S-curve trestle, and then 1 trestle below it. So altogether, 4 wooden trestles. There's a sign for Dorsey. Probably Dorsey was the name of some logger, prospector, or maybe railroad official. And here we are at Chester. Now I'm guessing we're going to be able to stop this train very quickly. but I still don't want to go over. Getting the train moving again is going to be the challenge, actually. I don't know how many sessions ago we dropped these off, but my guess is it must have been like almost the first episode of the day game time. Here's one where you don't want to hit it too hard. Chester, Cox, and Dorsey. Probably all loggers, is my guess. Or maybe owners of the company that was doing the logging. How long was this logging camp even here? I have no idea. My guess could have been as short as a couple years. Oops. And I wonder what the criterion were for the railroad to open up a spur, you know, for industry. Like, would you have to contract a lot in advance? Why is that locked? Okay, and then after we couple this train, we are going to head down to Saltese. So we're almost at I think we had 2 miles to the pass, or 3 miles. It's still significant. And it will bear watching whether we can actually go up the hill. Okay. Drive via Saltese Track 2. I mean, once you see forward motion, you know we're going to make it. Because it doesn't get any steeper than this. And you can really feel the grade right looking there. Something about the train's camera angle has trained me as you were to know that this is looking downhill, downgrade, very much so. So once we're in Saltese, we're going to be basically Actually, we don't even need to stop at Saltese now. Oh, we do have, we can drop off our helper engines, that's right. So we'll be dropping off our helper engines there, and some of those will be working a little bit of the industry on that side of the map next time. And then we'll be on to Haugen to drop off these other cars. Shall we see how heavy this train is? We are exactly spot on in terms of tonnage. So yeah, we'll be taking the logs off the map, we'll be dropping the hops at Haugen, we'll be dropping the limestone and sand at the cement facility, and we'll be dropping the helpers because they will be at Saltese working that industry and potentially driving down to St. Regis to pick up some of the flat cars that we left in St. Regis. I think that there's some pipe loads that are going to need to go over the pass, so most likely they will pick up those pipe loads in Saltese. And when this local train comes back, those pipe loads will be coming over the pass. So that wraps it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed myself immensely despite the occasional frustration at the Larson limestone facility. But that's par for the course with trains. So hope to see you again in a week's time. And we'll see you again on the Wallace branch.